Hello Simmers! Welcome back to another video. Today we are looking at the laundry list. It's February 2024's laundry list as reported by the Sims team. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at this. There's not a lot to get through, but we're going to get through it nevertheless. If we go over to ea.com/game/sims/sims4/news, and go over to their laundry list dated the 14th of February 2024, we see that they have a list of top community concerns that they are currently investigating and are hoping to resolve in an upcoming patch. Now, normally when they get the laundry list, they release the patch or to fix those bugs within 1 to 2 weeks. So hopefully we will soon get that update. So this is a list of topics from Answers HQ with upcoming fixes. There are more topics that have been reported by players that are not on this list, which are being worked on. And as always, my friends, if you have any problems with your game, please do go over to Answers HQ. It's answers.ea.com and report any bugs or glitches or problems that you're having with The Sims 4 so that the Sims team can easily keep track of them and know what is affecting the most number of players so that, they can prioritize the different bugs. So the list of community concerns are that holidays are only appearing for 3 Sims in household. Now, I've noticed this lately in my game. I've got a 6 Sim household currently in my aspiration challenge, and only 3 of them, and oddly, it's the toddler and the 2 young children are the only ones that have that holiday list up at the top left corner of the screen. All of the teenagers and the adults don't get that list, so it's really difficult for me to be able to tell which Sims are having a good holiday and which ones aren't. So hopefully they will get that fixed. For console, there's a bug that is unable to toggle wall tile placement type between room and single when using controller. So basically what this is, if we go into the actual Answers HQ post, Sims player 818 says that they can only place a single tile of flooring or wall covering. None of the functions and actions work. So in other words, they can't fill all of the walls or all of the floor tiles in a room. On console, they can only do 1 tile at a time, or 1 strip of wall at a time, which is really annoying. The next one is customer service NPCs do not spawn on community lots. BearPal64 is saying that they load onto a community lot that has a specific role, such as barista, bartender, etc. The lot loads, the customers arrive and keep loading on the lot, but the specific NPCs that make the lot work are no-shows. They don't show up to work, which you definitely need a barista if you want a cup of coffee, right? So yeah, it says not only do they not load, but you also can't hire them if the option is available because the game says they're already on the lot, which is really weird. The 4th bug is stuck on residential rental lot type. Now this is when you put a lot, you set it as a residential rental lot, and then you change your mind later on and say you want it to go back to a single household, or you want to change it to a community lot, or whatever. For some reason it will not let you, or the game will not let you change it over to a different lot type from once it's on residential rental. It's stuck there. So yeah, that's not good. The next one is Sims eating prepped ingredients as eat leftovers. Now, I've had this problem. I've actually stopped having my Sims make prepped ingredients because 1, they never use the prepped ingredients, and 2, they just, instead of using them in recipes like they're supposed to. So like, for example, with the prepped ingredients, you can make dough, cake dough, for example. And the dough is supposed to be able, you're supposed to be able to use that for cakes, for cookies, stuff like that. And it never works. My Sims never use the dough when they're baking. And they never use the chopped veggies when they're making any things with vegetables. It's supposed to save on cooking time and price, cost a little bit. But yeah, it never works. And then when you have your Sims eat leftovers, you click on the refrigerator, eat leftovers, they will grab the dough, or they will grab the chopped vegetables, and they'll eat that instead of like the pizza that's in the refrigerator. Really annoying. Again, be glad to see that fixed. Waffle maker and pizza oven cause constant fires is the next one, and this is one that I actually reported back when the Home Chef Hustle stuff pack was first released. I completely redid my Sims house. I gave my Aspiration Challenge Sims household a brand new home with a nice new kitchen, put in all of the new Home Chef Hustle stuff in the kitchen with the pizza oven and waffle iron, and it looked beautiful. And then I had my Sim make a pizza, and it caught fire. And I'm like, okay, so I had them make waffles, and it caught fire. And I had them use the stand mixer, and it also caught fire. This was all in the same gaming session. 3 fires within the space of 10 IRL minutes, which is ridiculous. I was playing with no CC at the time, and I tried each appliance twice, and out of the 6 times that I did it, a fire broke out 4 out of those 6 times, which is a lot. And my Sim had a level 10 cooking skill as well, so it wasn't because he was, low-level cooking skill. 4 out of 6 times is ridiculous for a level 10 skill chef or skill cook. Really, really glad that the team have seen this and that they are going to work on providing us a fix so that we can actually cook a pizza without having to worry about our house halfway burning down. Anyway, let's move on to the next one. Vegetarian. Plain waffles give violating principles moodlets. So when your Sims make a plain waffle, if you have a vegetarian Sim, you would think that a plain waffle would be vegetarian. But for some reason it's saying it's given that violating principles moodlets. Sims get stuck cooking and eating. I have had this lately in my save file, and I just thought it was because I use custom content food. Cake Pops, to be exact, because I've got a Sim that has a real big sweet tooth, so I have downloaded quite a few different custom content food items that are candies and cakes and cookies and all that wonderful stuff so that he can get his sweet tooth on. And I've noticed that when my Sims are cooking or eating, they get stuck, and I have to use debug cheats to reset the Sim. Next up, we have off-grid fridges drain power, and you can't turn off the utility usage. So for those of you who don't know, some refrigerators in The Sims 4 can be used either on the grid or off the grid. If they're used off the grid, then you can add ice to the refrigerator to make it off grid, and it won't use any energy. This bug was reported by Renegade Kitty OG. And they say that with Eco Lifestyle, if you use the off-the-grid lot trait, if you have a turbine or a solar panel to generate power, eventually a message will appear saying the lot is generating a power surplus. If you have one of the 2 off-grid fridges, the Icebox Vintage Refrigerator or the 30-day Glimmerbrook Fridge, without using the fridge or any power items, eventually a message will appear saying the lot has used up the last of its power reserves. There's no option to turn off utility usage, unlike with off-grid showers and toilets. And of course, the Simmer says that they expect that power will only be drawn from off-grid fridge if they use the power options initially disabled when there is no power reserve. It should not automatically start draining the power on its own just because the lot is generating power, which I agree. There should be an option on everything that is off-grid to turn off utility usage, thereby stopping it from leaching power from your turbines or your solar panels. Yeah, so I'm actually marking this as me too. By the way, everyone, it is a good idea if you go into Answers HQ, if any of the reported bugs, if you're experiencing them and you see someone has already posted, go into the post, click me too, so that, you'll see here 75 people had this problem. This gives the devs a really good indication of, an idea of how many people are having this problem. Yeah, it's a well-known statistic that only 10% of people that are having problems will report them. Always take that as that's only like 10% of the number of people that are actually experiencing this bug. It's a general rule. It's not a hard and fast one, but it is a good generalization. So anyway, going on to the next error, we have a couple of error codes. We have a save error and an 403 and an error code 102. So going into these, the save error is you load the game, go into build mode, and try to save. What happens when the bug occurs, it doesn't save, but you expect to see the game saving, because you told it to save, so you expect it to save. And this was reported by Ecclesia over on Answers HQ, and they're saying that it's happened since they got the For Rent pack. The error code 102 was reported by Renatant, and basically they're saying that it started when they were trying to change the lot type on a lot in For Rent. So this might be related to the stuck on residential rental lot type bug. And they said that they changed it to residential in the info panel, and despite saying residential in the info panel, it kept saying it was residential rental and wouldn't allow them to place any residential lots from the gallery. So this does sound like it's related to that previous bug. The game ended up crashing with the error message, and they cannot play the game at all. So that is a game-breaking bug, and that is, I would guess, probably at the top of the devs list of things to get fixed. Anything that actually breaks the game and keeps people from playing the game automatically in any development scenario, anything that breaks the program automatically goes up to the top of the devs to fix list. Okay, moving on. We have 4 more bug reports that the dev team is currently working on. Can't fish in winter, and this is an interesting one. So basically what this is, it was reported by Pippin SPB over on Answers HQ, of course, and they're saying that during the winter, when it's really cold, the water in the game will freeze. And of course, if the water is frozen, you can't fish. But if it's cold and the water is not, but it's not cold enough for the water to have that frozen effect, you should then still be able, logically thinking, you should be able to fish. If the water is not frozen, you should be able to fish in a body of water. However, you can't, even if it's windy or cloudy and cold, as if the ice is frozen that one time, even after a thaw, it completely kicks you out of fishing until spring rolls around. So you would think that you would be able to fish during cold, windy, or cloudy weather in wintertime. It isn't game-breaking, but it is still an annoyance. A minor one, Nasi Lemak looks nothing like the real-life dish. This is people complaining that the dish doesn't look like real Nasi Lemak. If we actually look at images, this is what Nasi Lemak should look like, and this is what it looks like in the game. So in the game, it just basically looks like vegetable rice, whereas in real life, you've got kimchi, you've got mung beans, you've got cucumber, egg, all surrounding a sphere or half sphere of rice in the middle of the plate. I agree that that looks nothing like that, and they really should redo it. It isn't game breaking, it isn't super pressing, but it is a bit of a inclusion and representation mistake that does need rectifying, and again, hopefully they will get to that. We have the reward trait still available after purchase. This is when you go into the satisfaction point store, where you can buy a load of different traits in the shop based on your satisfaction points. So that's when your sim does something that they want to do, their wants and whims, they get satisfaction points for doing it. Or when they complete an aspiration, they get a lot of points, satisfaction points, for completing an aspiration. And you can spend those points on various things, such as bladder trait that keeps your sim from, that prevents your sim from needing the toilet as often, or a trait that gives them loads of energy and so that they don't have to sleep as often. There's one that's always welcome, where you can go into anyone's house and cook, clean, sleep in their bed, and they won't yell at you like they normally would. That trait, by the way, is great if you're doing a rags to riches or a homeless challenge. Just saying. So yeah, I agree, and for some reason it's still available after purchase, even though you've purchased it, so you can't have it twice. That really makes no sense. And finally, there's Hoodie makes Sims' eyes bigger. This is with the latest Goth Galore kit, and there's a hoodie that makes feminine frame Sims. When you put the hoodie over, it makes their eyes go really, really big, which is really weird, and it also deletes their hair. I'm glad that that's on the Sims team's radar and that they're looking for fixing that, although to be honest, I kind of like the big eyes. I just do. I think it's quirky and silly, and I like my silly things. So if they don't fix it, I wouldn't be bothered, but I know that it's annoying a lot of Simmers out there, so it's fine. Hopefully they'll fix it for those of you who find it annoying. But yeah, so as always, my friends, please share any issues, bugs, glitches, etc. that you experience on Sims 4 over on Answers HQ, and I will give a link in the description to Answers HQ so that you can find it even easier. It really does help the devs of The Sims 4 to have all bug reports in Answers HQ, just that one central location where they can check things very, very easily.